Let's begin again. So I just saw um, Fantastic Four 2025, and I have to say I feel kind of like what? Why does it feel like railroading? Like it feels like it's not supposed to do that thing that it did. And certain things are like, wait, no, that's not what they even said. And physics, don't get me started on the physics. No one cares about the physics in those games, those movies. Oh, right, I need to do it. I actually have to do the puzzle. So, I get bothered by the whole concept of I have um, absolutely um, like so many problems with this movie. But I mean, there's nothing else to really think about it. It just is what it is. And honestly, it was pretty, and I don't hate it. I just, like anyone, would find problems with things that clearly, like, look at the portal they used to push the guy through. Spoiler alert. Skip to, I don't care. Um, I'll move the bubble or something. So the portal that they use, initially, if you look at the schematics of how it works and how it originally operates, you would know that it absolutely was a thing that covers an object and then that object moves. I don't see that being the description of how it works here. Why am I stuck on this level? Probably because I'm also talking about Fantastic Four. It just sat with me different. There are things like, did they negotiate? The answer to that is, of course, they did not negotiate with the alien to get the Earth be protected if they give the child, but that's what they said to people, just random people. And I can't help but think that that's really stupid writing to say that you said there was some kind of negotiation, and no, they said, I'm going to take your child, I'm going to destroy your Earth, and I'm going to let him watch. There was nothing about negotiation. It just didn't happen. So, fuck yourself, movie maker. You made a oopsie. But it's like a plot point where it's not just where it's something they said differently. It's like the entire movie is hinged on, oh, well, you're being selfish. You should have just given the baby or whatever else. I'm like, no, I'm not giving up my baby. And it's like, bitch, you never had a choice. They were gonna destroy the earth anyway. There is no negotiation. So it's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's irrelevant. The five doesn't go there. And it just feels like I've seen her force pushing things before. There's a lot of chromatic junk in the way of the animation or whatever. I Again, I don't hate the movie. I just feel like I kind of wasn't focused on it or something. It was just too, like, weird. Didn't make sense. Parts of it were like, oh, you're gonna do this now, and then clearly not. So then, what even was the thing? It's like, not to mention FTL. Yeah, you can do something with FTL, sure, go ahead. I'll allow it. The idea of the bending of space-time and whatever else based on the physics that everyone is hopefully wanting to be real and everything about planets and stuff with the gravity bending and the whole junk about how space-time curvature. That took way too long. Space-time doesn't curve. It's a misunderstanding of how time is affected by clocks. And so, yeah, centrifuge, you just end up twisting how the clock can do time stuff. And obviously, if you just have a pendulum move faster or slower, clearly you're going to end up with an incorrect time model. So you need to compensate for its motion, or possibly the clock is just completely broken and doesn't work at all. So irrelevant. Why would you even? Why do that? And it's just, oh, that's a 2. Sorry, I was doing time stuff, and it's like there's another 4. That was easy. If 9 is there, it's not here. 9823 doesn't say anything about the vertical. If 8 is, or 3 is, then 8, 5 must be 5 unless 8 is there, but then if 8 is here, 5 could be elsewhere, and 3 has to be elsewhere, and 1 has to be somewhere. And if 1 has to be here and we don't know the rest, then we can't make any answers. What else is there? Look, I'm working on time travel, but the main focus is the assumption that you have to interact differently than, okay, it's a 6. I should preface, you cannot interact with your own self when you go backwards in time, or you will explode. There's a very serious concern about the whole you can explode thing. Or you definitely will explode. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So there's that. Makes it really stupid if you want to make a time machine to make a fatal flaw, like you'll definitely explode if you do it wrong. But that just means you have to shift yourself into another phase of existence, another energy. Unfortunately, that's not easy. There's a 1. That has to be the 3. This has to be the 4. If that's 1, 5, this is 8. That's 3. 8. Also, if this is 1, 5, this is not 5. This is not 5. That is 4. That's a 2. Some people might say to me, well, you don't know if you'll explode or not. Yeah, I do. The moment your body goes backwards in time, there is the possibility that you could go backwards in time fast enough that you won't intersect your past self. But you will, because all things exist for any fraction of a time. And therefore, if you do exist for any fraction of a time, wow, this is really freaking impossible to solve. What the hell? There's so much, like, not just giving immediately what the answer is. Like, what? How? Well, I assume there has to be. This has to be everything except for one. Except for if you really count all of the numbers, it can't be anything except for 1, 3, which it doesn't show up in any other part of the vertical. So this is only a 1 and a 3. It's not 2. It's not 8, 9. It's not 2. It's not 8, 9, 7. Which forces 2. How did I get that? Because 1 and 3 aren't anywhere else in the column. I didn't need any other evidence. This is a 2. This is also 2. 9, 2, 9. It's so weird how they function these things to be like, oh yeah, we'll make you stuck. I will find a way out without using binary, if I can help it. For example, 95956 equals maybe 6975. But I don't know which. 9595 7995 78 78 8996. That's probably the 6. The other one has to be the 5. That one's the 9. Equals this is 7. That would be 9. Which doesn't change anything about the rest. It's a closed loop. but it forces, for example, 8, 5, 7, whatever already, something. Where was I in any of this? Oh yeah, if this was the, something was the 9 and something else. If the 1, 3, 1, 3 to 5, 8, 9, 8, well, 3, wait, if 8, 9, 8, 9, 9 alternate, 9, 9, there's 3 different 9s. I don't like that. They coincide with every block. But there has to be a 3 in this, 9 in this block. The other 9 has to be in here somewhere. This is down. The other one's up. Oh god, what am I missing? Where are my vitamins? Did I not make a drink? I didn't make a drink. Okay, I'm gonna keep on this. I'm not gonna binary if I can help it. Wait a second. Is there anything for the block? 7. Oh my god, that's just a blatant 7 in the block. Thank you. 9. I don't even have to guess. It is just pronounced to me. Yeah. Didn't have to use binary. Just found the thing that was the only thing that could have been there in the first place. And now that I am up, I can do other things, but I should really finish this because it won't take long, and also I would have to pause the stream in order to do some other thing. There's the pills, it doesn't matter because I can't take them without, well, they're just, now I'm just taking supplements. We did it. Next. New puzzle. I mean, finding that 7 was, what do you call that, lucky or smart? What is this? 7, 7, 7, 7. I was focused on the 2. There's actually a 9 over here, which is 4, 7, 2, 6, 6, maybe? I don't know. And then also, then this is still a 2. Looking elsewhere, I see 4, 5, 5, 6, 4, 5, 9, 4, 5, and 6, 2. Oh, that doesn't help. 4, 2, 4, 2, 7, 2, 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 2, 7, 6, 2, 7, 6. Why do I keep saying 4? There's no 4, except from the middle and the top. 4 elsewhere. 4, 5, 4, 9, 4, 8, 9, 2. 4, 5. 4, 8, 4, 9, 3, 2, 9. Oh god, what the heck? I am distracted by making a drink. And pain in my shoulder, which is based off of dermatology. Shit. Bring the pillows over. Yeah, no, I don't like time dilation. It doesn't exist. Stop talking about it. I'm not convinced. 8. It must 1 3 1 3 3 1 3 1. Is it possible that this is 3? I don't know. As equally as anything else. Can I see binary at all? Or can I see sudoku at all? Sudoku 8. Like, ironically, seeing with sudoku is a different function. Oh my god, it's a blatant 1. Fuck off. The 2 goes up there. 4 5 3 3 3 3 3 3 center, 3 side, 3 outer one. Eat some cheese, have some raspberries, eat some potato. Where do I put my cup? I don't know. I have these stupid things of spicy chips I don't want. Why do I have them here? Move the cheese over. I'll have room for the cup that was about to be done microwaving. The 9 goes up. There's an 8 here, possibly, or there. We don't know which 8 it is. No, it's one of them. 2, 6, 4, 7, 5. Vertical? If 5 vertical must, 5 cannot, equals 5. There. That's a big ass freaking clue out there, isn't it? This 5 block equals vertical only. Blocks all the other vertical, like, forces this 5. If you want to call it in those words or other words, be my guest. 7 8 equals not 7, not 7. In the block, the 5 equals 8 3 8 3 9 equals 2. There's a law of 1 3 going on here, which equals not 1 3 because equals 2 6. 9 5 9 5 also equals not 1 3. Cool. 9 5 4 5 6 3 9. 9 has to be somewhere. 1 3 1 3 1 3 5 7 1 3 5 7. What other strings can I pull on? 1 3 7 1 3 7 1 3 7 4 4 5 7 5 7 5 7 4. 9. Is that the only 9? No. 4 5 6 4 5 3 5 4 5 3. 8 or 9. Chances are it's not 3 is over here. We don't know. Headache. If 3 equals not 3 equals 4. Not 3. Not 3. God, I should have done that earlier. Not 9. Not 9. Cool. What else is there as a 1? Not 1 equals 1. Cool. 862 equals 3? No. 777 4. Is there anything blatant I'm missing? No. Sorry I'm not watching the chat. So you would be able to tell me about that 7. I don't listen to chat while doing these puzzles. Although you can leave comments about what you think about the idea of using binary to solve things. Like this, for example, I could simply pop this 5-9 pair, and then that forces 9 here, which then 5-9 here, and 9 here. And find out if that actually was the real choice, if it was the correct one. Well, it seems to be correct, only because it was a contained system, and doesn't seem to block anything. Everything seems right, at least for now. The 3 alternates with this 3, alternates with this 3, and this 3, so on and so forth. Where is the rub? 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6. 3 equals 3 or 3. And if 4, 6, and 3, for example, 5, also this is a 1, just sitting out there, waiting to be grabbed. This is a 4, blatant. Forces 6, no binary needed for that part. And you have to ask, how did you even find that binary to be able to pop it correctly? It's a choice. It's not actually knowing. It's just hoping that it's the right choice. I don't actually know. For example, I'm really stuck on all of this other shit junk that's everywhere in this entire puzzle. It's just everywhere, and I'm really frustrated about it. 2 must be somewhere in here. 2, 6, 4, 8, 7, 4. Well, that's easy. 5. Okay, you're just... But seriously though, how did I find that binary if it is correct? And then we take like 15 other steps before we finish the puzzle. How is it that that is what I found just randomly? And it is correct. This is the conspiracy of me being a robot. But of course, a human is a robot. I can have my brain in my dreams give me the answer to a bunch of things, like all the different math problems, and it will just know all of it, and it will be correct if I were to check it in real life outside of the dream. I've done one of those games where the numbers go up and it was able to calculate it. Your brain is capable of calculating all of those things. Now, wouldn't it be nice if your brain and you could coerce itself to talk to each other and not be alone anymore? Not have individual thought separate from the rest of it, and you can actually unlock all of these other components of your brain and how it can work and do things. What if we unlock the other 98%? Well, it's actually already there. It's functioning, doing things. Subconscious is a lot of the components. But what if you end up, instead of using subconscious, you use that subconscious, which doesn't have to be any part of the idea man, to give you, the conscious idea man, the capacity to solve things like sudoku. Lending yourself to a part of yourself that is not the actual conscious being is like talking to an alien that can't speak. It's there, it can talk to you, you just don't know how. And that's weird, and I'm not pseudoscience, and I'm not even just crazy. It's all there. It makes sense. There is another soul in you, or there are many other souls in you. The entire system of your anatomy works without your idea man being directly involved. No nervous system direct connection. It's communication and cooperation that works. So, what is it that would cause a autoimmune system failure? Wouldn't it be a miscommunication? Some kind of valve that gets stuck open then? Wouldn't you be able to easily fix it if you knew which valve that was? If that was the case of what was happening to the thing to cause the problem in the first place, and wouldn't your body know which valve that is and know how to be able to fix it on its own? There's a lot of things you can diagnose, and with medicine, you're stuck, but your body already is aware of everything that you need to know to diagnose all the things that you need, even the things that it says that it normally would not tell you, because there's no visible awareness sign. For example, a signal that isn't being sent properly, a chemical that's in imbalance. And so as soon as you start eating something, maybe you can unlock a part of that signaling system that then tells you about stuff. For example, smells. People have been able to tell for a while that certain smells could be connected to Parkinson's, and other diseases leave similar smell signatures. Why is it then that we don't have the ability to just absolutely give people the capacity with all these smells to just, we have smell robots? Eventually we will just have the ability to smell disease, if that's even something. So if you have this specific compound as part of your body makeup, your sweat or your whatever, then you're going to be diagnosed as having this thing or that thing potentially, and then that could be sent to your doctor, and then you could be checked for whatever the hell it is. COVID, immediate awareness, and able to be diagnosed without any other tests. Nanotechnology will be able to solve a lot of things, but we have to get there first. We have to get to the nanotechnology. We have to get to the augments, because they will make things like even more connected. Like your phone could just simply have a smell thing, and all it takes is breathe towards it or whatever, and it can clean itself or whatnot. You could have a packet of nanotechnology that can enter your body from the phone. It doesn't even have to be injected. It just has to go towards you, and it'll basically find its way in and then find whatever problem based off of doctors' advice and automated systems, and then you'll just be cured. Or it will just be in your body to begin with. But it's kind of better if you can have, like, the technology go in and then go out again so that it's not staying in your body, at least at first. Um, so you have less immune system response. But if it is there and it is trained, then your body won't bother about it, and then you can have nanotechnology constantly in your body. We already know about implants, like we can make it so that they look like exact body tissue, so we don't need, or ish things with materials that won't be rejected and won't poison the body. But seriously, the fact that my brain can do things that the idea man has no clue of, and I want to find ways of tapping into that, that's fine for me. What about everyone else? Well, look into it yourself, figure it out yourself. Put yourself into the idea of having programs in your head and make it, but it's not a program that like you install, it's a program like a kind of thinking about it, and then your mind makes the program, your mind makes the pattern recognition. And then if you just zone out, maybe you'll find solutions to things, which is like, it's too simple. But it's not, the thing is, it's not simple. It's complex, it's multi-step, it's noise recognition, and the ability to go through things without, like, today wasn't even a good day. I am 10 minutes slower than my record. Do I care? Whatever. But I still feel like I popped a binary, and again, it was the correct path, which is not, it's like flip a coin. You have the chance of it being correct or not correct. But I also went through some of the path and I didn't fully see it, but it kind of made sense that if it were to be this, then it would fulfill itself, and then eventually you would have the answer show up there. But I wasn't fully aware, and even after that, I still had to figure out some other thing, like where's the 7, and the 1 3 precludes all other numbers from being in those positions, because only 1 and 3 can go in those positions in that box or in that column. Either logic works, and so I can solve that way. Remove the noise, find where all the other things can go or must go, and then you just have answers that literally come out of what seems to be nothing. But it's like that can be internalized to be something that somehow my brain is able to recognize and play along with me and do the thing and have my, but like being aware of something and then doing the thing that my silent mind can't really do anything else but to hope to say, make maybe this or that. It would be really great if I could talk to the other part of my brain, um, like all the other parts of my brain that have all these informations, so that things could become more streamlined. It's fascinating that they're separate in the first place. It's fascinating that there's an entire ecosystem that happens that I'm not aware of. And it just goes on, and I am completely oblivious of it. I found a bug recently floating in my cup in my sink, and I think it was trying to lay eggs or something, and hoping that it gets fertilized later, but I just dumped it down the sink because I don't want it to do that. And I feel like a bit of a monster because pest control is like just kill it somehow, humanely, hopefully, or get it out of the apartment, release it. Like, what is it doing there? I know exactly the type of bug that it looks like because I took a picture, but I don't actually. I think it's a potato bug, which means if I have potatoes, it's my responsibility that the potato bug exists in here. So the sooner I get rid of these freaking potatoes and have other foods that I can actually store in containers that don't leave a smell, so don't attract bugs, then I become the person capable of stopping them from doing anything that could hurt them. Make sure that the only thing that could ever be around is, hopefully, like, potatoes are a victimizing thing. They force the bugs to be noticing the potatoes, and then they're like, oh, well, we're just going to be around and be a pest, kind of. But we're just trying to exist. You just have the thing that we want. If you didn't have it, we wouldn't be here and we would have just been living somewhere else. I hate that. I don't want to be responsible for the murder of whatever bugs, even if they're just bugs or whatever else. I don't want to be responsible for the killing of things that I lured in because I simply have the need of potatoes, and the potatoes can't don't keep as well in a container in the fridge or anywhere else. They are better out in the open with air in a aerobic environment. So I can't do anything to stop the bugs from noticing the potatoes, or if the potatoes are on the bugs, that they're coming off and then doing things and whatever else. And what the hell do I even do with potatoes? I don't like it. If they're attracted by the potatoes, or if they're already in the potatoes and then they grow up and then they're just around here because I bought potatoes and they're the victims of being migrated from wherever the hell they were. But it's easy to kill them because of my health concerns, of my own thoughts, of my own needs. Not wanting what, even if they don't have bacteria or viruses or things that they could spread from whatever thing, I'm bothered by them. Oh, they're harmless. Fry them up or something. Or just let them go and they'll be fine. Or whatever. I don't like it. I would prefer to buy rice. But it's all these things that I'm not aware of, that I'm not seeing, because it's not a bug that's big enough to notice. But instead, there are things living off of all sorts of things, an entire invisible world that I'm not interacting with, so I don't care. And so all these other victims are happening without my awareness of it. The entire war raging on in my body. Although it's irrelevant to think of all the welfare of all these things because they're just willing to do whatever the hell it takes to survive, and I just happen to be a thing that they're existing in. No, this is not because I saw the movie Cells at Work. That was a long time ago. It was more about there was a tapeworm or a lymphatic worm. There was some kind of worm in Star Trek Enterprise. And it's like, yeah, take care of them because they're hard to replace. FTL bubble drives are weird reality bending things work in science fiction. They don't work here. You're still pushing things around. Some things are less likely to be moved, and you're gonna get bombarded by a lot of things. Whatever. Don't listen.